You know what's painful? Waking up every day knowing deep down you're meant for more, but doing nothing about it. That gut-wrenching silence at 2 a.m. where your mind screams the truth you try to ignore. You're living like a coward. And it's not because you're weak. It's because you keep choosing comfort over growth, fear over action, and excuses over responsibility. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying tomorrow like you're guaranteed one. Life doesn't care about your fears, your anxiety, your hesitation. It rewards those who face the fire and keep walking anyway. You think strength comes from ease? No. It comes from dragging yourself through the storms you'd rather run from. Every time you avoid the hard conversation, the gym, the risk, you kill your own potential. You were built to fight, to lead, to rise. But you've let society tame you into being soft, passive, and scared. Enough. Take the hit. Make the move. Embrace the discomfort. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's doing it while you're terrified. You either own your life or it owns you. Choose. Fear never truly disappears. No matter how strong you become, no matter how many battles you win, fear will always be there, waiting. It creeps in when you're about to take a risk. It whispers in your ear when you're stepping into the unknown. It shows up when you're about to ask for that promotion, launch that business, walk into the gym for the first time, or speak your truth in a world that rewards silence and obedience. Fear is part of life. It's part of growth. And anyone who tells you they're fearless is lying or they've stopped growing. The truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is action in the presence of it. Or courage is the moment you feel your chest tighten, your stomach turn, your hands shake, and you do it anyway. You stand up, take the steps, speak the words, face the storm. That's real courage. And it's not something you're born with. It's something you decide to live by. Every time you face fear and choose to act, you become a little more powerful, a little more unshakable, a little more like the person you were always meant to be. But most people run. They feel fear and think it's a stop sign, a warning, a reason to turn back. They confuse fear with danger. They let it control them. And so they shrink. They avoid the uncomfortable conversations. They settle for less. They watch their dreams slip through their fingers while convincing themselves it's not the right time or maybe it's not meant for me. That is the path of regret. And regret is a heavier burden than fear could ever be. You want to live a bold, powerful life? Then accept this. Fear is not your enemy. It's your test. It's the gatekeeper between you and everything you want. That fear you feel? It's a compass. It's showing you exactly where you need to go. If it scares you, it probably matters. If it shakes you, it's probably meaningful. But you'll never find out unless you move. You'll never know what kind of strength is buried inside you unless you put yourself in situations that demand it. The gym doesn't build muscle with comfort. It builds it with resistance. Life is the same. Every situation you fear, every challenge, every risk, every unknown is a rep. And the more you lift, the stronger you get. The more you face what you fear, the less it owns you. Until one day you look back and realize the things that once crippled you now barely move the needle. Not because fear went away, but because you got bigger than it. Don't wait to feel ready. That day may never come. The mind is designed to protect you, not to push you. Left unchecked, it will convince you to stay safe, small, and stuck. You must override that. You must decide. Fear doesn't get the final say. I do. The version of you that you're chasing, the one with confidence, respect, power, peace, doesn't come from playing it safe. He comes from walking into fear again and again until you start to believe, I can handle this. I was built for this. And yes, you will fail sometimes. You'll fall on your face. You'll get laughed at. You'll lose. But you'll also learn. You'll grow. You'll discover that failure isn't fatal. Quitting is. And cowards quit. Cowards look at fear and bow to it. Warriors face it head on, even if their knees are shaking. And with every act of courage, their fear loses a little more power. Start small if you must. Speak up once. Say no when you're used to saying yes. Push one more rep. Get out of bed the moment your alarm hits. These moments seem tiny, but they matter. Each one is a message to your soul. I'm not running anymore. Stack them. Build that inner fire. Because the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more brave ones. More people willing to face the fear and say, this won't break me, this will build me. You've lived long enough hiding behind what ifs and maybes. You've suffered enough watching others pass you by, not because they're better, but because they dared. You are capable of extraordinary things, but only if you stop letting fear dictate your life. Walk into it, feel it, and move anyway. That's courage. That's power. That's how you become unstoppable. Discomfort is the price of greatness. There is no way around it. Every person who has ever built something powerful, transformed their body, conquered their mind, or changed their life has paid in discomfort. While most people pray for ease, winners embrace the hard. They understand that pain is not punishment. It's the process. And until you learn to stop avoiding discomfort, you will continue to avoid the life you truly want, because everything worth having lies on the other side of it. Greatness doesn't come from doing what's easy. Anyone can scroll, sleep in, overeat, procrastinate, make excuses, and blame the world. That's comfort. That's average. That's the path that leads to regret, weakness, and quiet misery. You want greatness? Then you have to suffer for it. You have to sweat for it. You have to be willing to feel the burn of growth, the sting of rejection, the frustration of failure, the loneliness of discipline, and still keep moving forward. No one tells you that becoming the strongest version of yourself is going to hurt, but it will. It has to. You think your mind becomes unbreakable by sitting around waiting to feel inspired? You think your body transforms without pain? You think your business or career will explode without sacrifice? You think your relationships will thrive without effort? No. It all demands discomfort. It demands long nights, tough decisions, brutal honesty, and relentless persistence. It demands walking when your legs are shaking, speaking when your voice is trembling, and believing when everything around you tells you to quit. Most people never get there because the moment it gets hard, they run. The moment it burns, they stop. The moment it's inconvenient, they make excuses. That's why they stay stuck. That's why they never see the view from the top, because they were too afraid to climb. But if you're serious about greatness, you'll learn to love the climb. You'll learn to crave that struggle, because that's where the transformation happens. That's where you separate yourself from the herd. Discomfort isn't just part of the process, it is the process. You don't become disciplined in your comfort zone. You become disciplined the moment you choose to show up when you don't feel like it. You become resilient the moment you keep going after you've been knocked down. You become mentally sharp when you silence the noise and sit in the chaos without losing yourself. Every uncomfortable situation you survive becomes fuel. It hardens you, sharpens you. It turns you into someone who can no longer be broken by small problems, weak opinions, or fleeting emotions. You want a better life? Get uncomfortable. Wake up earlier than your mind wants. Train harder than your body thinks it can. Say no to distractions. Say yes to the habits that scare you. Push past your old limits. Get up after failure again and again and again until it's no longer a surprise when you win. It's just who you've become. The people you look up to, the champions, the legends, the elite, they didn't get there by luck. They got there because they were willing to do what others wouldn't. They were willing to be uncomfortable when everyone else looked for shortcuts. And they were willing to stay uncomfortable for years, even decades, because they weren't chasing comfort. They were chasing greatness. And that chase never ends. You have to stop looking for the easy path. It doesn't exist. You're not supposed to feel good every day. You're not supposed to be motivated every morning. You're supposed to build a mindset so ruthless that even on your worst days, you still execute. That only happens when you treat discomfort as your ally. Not something to run from, but something to run into. Understand this, discomfort is a mirror. It shows you exactly where you need to grow. If it scares you, confront it. If it hurts, lean in. If it's hard, do it twice. That's how warriors are made. That's how kings are built. Not in the comfort of convenience, but in the chaos of challenge. So stop avoiding the pain. Stop waiting for it to get easier. Life doesn't get easier, you get stronger, but only if you're willing to suffer. Only if you're willing to stretch yourself so far beyond who you are today that you become unrecognizable 6 months from now. That kind of growth demands discomfort. And the ones who rise to the top, they're not more talented. They're just more willing to endure, willing to sweat, willing to fail, willing to keep showing up when everyone else has given up. That's the price. That's the toll you must pay. And the sooner you accept that truth, the faster you'll stop being stuck and start becoming great. No one is coming to save you. Save yourself. Let that sink in, not as a warning, but as a wake-up call. Because the moment you truly understand that no one is going to fix your life for you, you become dangerous. You stop waiting. You stop wishing. You stop hoping that someone will show up and hand you a better life. They won't. Or not your parents, not your friends, not your partner, not your boss, not your government, not some guru on the internet. No one is coming to save you. It's on you. It has always been on you. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Life is not fair. And it doesn't care how hard things have been for you. You can scream, cry, complain, beg. It won't change a thing. Because while you're waiting for someone to pull you out of your hole, life keeps moving. Bills keep coming. Opportunities pass you by. Time runs out. And one day, you wake up and realize you wasted years waiting for a rescue that was never coming. That's the cold truth. But it's also the most liberating truth you will ever hear. Because if no one's coming, then the power to change everything is already in your hands. You are not helpless. You are not stuck. You are not broken beyond repair. You just have to stop outsourcing your responsibility. Too many people are addicted to blame. They blame their past, their parents, their circumstances, their boss, their genetics, the economy, anything that lets them off the hook. And while they're blaming, they're not building. They're not doing the work. They're not fixing their body, sharpening their mind, developing skills, or building the discipline to escape the life they hate. They want a savior more than they want a solution. That mindset is poison, because the longer you wait for someone to fix you, the more you rot inside. No one is obligated to understand you, to support you, to believe in you, or to lift you up. If they do, great. Appreciate it. But don't depend on it. Depend on you. Depend on your ability to rise from nothing. Because when you do it yourself, no one can take it from you. The confidence you earn when you build your life brick by brick through hell and chaos is the kind of confidence no one can shake. You stop needing validation. You stop chasing approval. You become the kind of person who gets things done, no matter what. Saving yourself doesn't mean you do it all alone. It means you take full ownership of your life. You ask for help when needed, but you never expect someone else to carry your weight. You don't wait for the right time. You create the right time. You don't wait for motivation. You show up without it. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You execute anyway. That's the mindset that separates the winners from the weak. Not talent, not luck, just a relentless refusal to quit on yourself. You want to change your life? Start taking radical responsibility. If your body is weak, train. If your mind is scattered, meditate. If your bank account is empty, work. If your relationships are toxic, walk away. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be, but it is possible. Every excuse you cling to is just another chain keeping you small. Break it. You think the most successful people had a savior? No. They had pain. They had hunger. They had a vision and a refusal to die ordinary. You think they never felt fear? Of course they did, but they acted anyway because they knew no one was coming. They became their own savior. You have to decide what kind of life you're going to live. One where you keep drowning and blaming the ocean, or one where you learn to swim no matter how violent the current gets. Your pain is not your prison. It's your power if you use it. Let your suffering make you sharper. Let your losses make you wiser. Let your rock bottom become the foundation you build your empire on. Because when you finally stop waiting to be saved, you start moving like someone who cannot be stopped. This world respects results, not stories, not sobs, not drama. You either get it done or you don't. And when you start